Cliffy B is me and Mike next.
This is the first E3 since we made a major organizational shift at Microsoft. With Gears of War, we're delivering the most powerful high-definition gaming experience to date.
It's your 6 minutes, so use it the way you want to use it.
Couldn't be more excited to be here because we're delivering the next generation of gaming right here and right now.
14 years building up to this moment since I started doing this. I know.
I started the company in 1991. It was just myself working in my parents' basement.
I never really expected to be this successful when I went into game development.
I'm not a good manager of people.
I've got all this built-up anxiety and anger, and I can't yell at anybody here because everybody's working hard.
Mike is a good manager of people.
Microsoft is really staked on this game. This is their killer app for the holiday for Xbox 360. Rod is a walking HR violation.
Come here and let me crush you with the heel of my boot.
Yeah, I'm used to having to pay for that.
It's a game that's built around cinematic experiences and really getting immersed into the story of a game.
Cliffy is a media whore, and he loves it.
I want to be on the TV! My girlfriend's name is Chantel, and I'm 31 and she's 19. You know, it's funny because when we first started dating, everybody started making a big deal about it, you know, that there's some sort of big age gap. But, you know, I think she's an old 19 and I'm a young 31, and I think we kind of hit this nice sweet spot in the middle. The game is kind of a combination of the best elements of a tactical shooter with the cooler parts of a survival horror game.
Are you afraid
Of the dark.
I lose sleep over this game every night, thinking about how it controls, thinking about the pacing of it, thinking about how strong the enemies are. This is the company's baby, it's my baby, and we're betting the farm on it. Years ago, I wanted to see a gun with a chainsaw on it to me, right? Like a futuristic version of a bayonet. Chainsaw with a gun? Now that sounds like a chocolate and a peanut butter type situation, right?
Oh, how did you cock the weapon first? See, you're actually accurate. Oh, damn!
It's a big old family. We go out, we go drinking a fair amount. We go shooting quite a bit.
Pretty bad.
Basketball, that kind of stuff. We play video games all the time. Basically, it's about hopefully getting a little bit of exercise and getting rid of some stress.
Oh, right across the chest.
Do you realize I'm sacrificing any life I have to sit here and help you guys, and yet you shoot foam darts at me as if my life needs that excitement?
My name is Laura Fryer, and I'm an executive producer at Microsoft. My job is to really help make sure that all of the groups working on Gears of War are well coordinated. So I manage the relationship with Epic. We've had a lot of back and forth with Epic. I think we have a pretty good approval. The only big issue still outstanding is Rod and Epic still want the chainsaw. So I'm going to work on that.
We'll manage that. I think we can manage through it.
E3 is our biggest milestone right now, and it's kind of getting ridiculously close. So that's scary.
A number of folks from Microsoft came out to sell us on how they're going to market the hell out of this game. Microsoft has never slung their weight this much behind a new IP that they do not own, and they're taking this very, very seriously. Microsoft has one punch to throw before the juggernaut of the PlayStation 3 launches, and Gears is that punch. I have never been fully satisfied in my entire 14-year career with any publisher's job marketing any product I've worked on.
So as we all know, Gears of War is currently like the #1 anticipated title for 2006.
We thought it would be really interesting the military's got these little directional speakers that they've actually been dropping in places like Iraq. So imagine you're standing on the platform of a subway station in New York City or the Tube or whatever, and we just make sounds come out of the subway tunnel.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's awesome.
They came in with giant nuts, and they swung for the fences. I mean, they called it out like the Babe. I mean, it was unbelievable. They're going to be putting ads in subways that animate. They're going to put a 150-foot by 40-foot banner on the side of the LA Convention Center.
Thanks, guys. Very nice to meet you. Nice work.
E3 is the damn Super Bowl for the video game industry.
All of the retail buyers and developers and the publishers and the press go to E3 and they look for the best games.
It is ground zero for what is going to be released over the next year.
My biggest concerns going into E3 are really more around our ability to get everything ready. There's some things that are open issues that we just need to get decisions on, because I think multiplayer's got a ton of work to be done. Co-op wasn't functional as of 1 a.m. last night, and single player, there's some stuff we want to do in terms of VO and things like that Nash is resistant against, that we need to make that decision, make that stuff happen in the next 4 hours. My biggest concerns leading up to E3, well, getting the demo done.
So we're going to have about 800 press go through this, and they're going to expect something that is ready to ship, right? I mean, I'd hate for everybody to say it was beautiful, but it really was lacking polish.
I think my job is on the line for Epic Games if we don't do well at this show.
Just for me, seeing people SWAT turning around and executing people who are down but not out, and then, the dynamic of that, and, you get one journalist chainsawing one of his buddy journalists, I mean, they're going to just love it, I think. Going into E3, we can't screw this up. E3 is coming faster and faster. It seems like time is accelerating at this point. Still a number of things that just are not done.
Dude, her tits are way too big.
That is clearly like a C cup or bigger. It looks like it was made by like a horny 15-year-old, and we're trying to be a little bit more mature than that. On a periodic basis, it's very necessary for everybody to be very hands-on with the game. So we have our playtests where people go down to the test lab and beat the hell out of the game.
Getting you out. Here, put this on. You'll need it.
This is good. I get to practice. I don't see a chainsaw. Is that in?
No, it's all content.
I didn't notice that before.
Crashed again.
Explosion froze.
Oh!
We could have worse problems right now. I will be on stage in front of thousands of journalists and buyers. So you ask me if there's any pressure? Just a little bit.
You need more bars.
Yeah, they need more bars. You need more guard towers, more cell blocks.
It seemed like every time you're fighting the Locust, you're just fighting them head on.
It's not scary at all.
The fear criticism is a valid concern, and I think that'll come through ultimately when it's polished in the end, because at the beginning you start off and you're trapped in solitary confinement. And then we're going to end with the large monster type moment.
From the get-go, I've wanted to make a game that has horror elements in it, as well as military themes, right? And we're not doing as good as we could.
Yeah, we took Aaron.
So did you see the chainsaw? Did you see it? Did you see it?
When are we going to see it in the level, though?
Well, it doesn't just get hooked up in a level. It just gets hooked up in the game, dude.
So you feel ready for E3, Cliff?
No, I'm horrified.
Yep. You're about to be.
I just got paused.
It started. Hopefully we're all in.
Was that it?
I think they dropped in the chainsaw again, and I think it was the chainsaw blood spray that you were seeing. We'll just say a gratuitous amount of blood.
It is vitally important that that one gets fixed.
Yeah, I suspect that one will be fixed. We'll get that one logged in as soon as we get back, because like they said, Epic feels that the chainsaw is a good representation of what Gears kind of represents.
You guys want to help me move?
I mean, how many boxes are there?
10. That's it? Yeah.
Taking personal time when you're in the middle of crunch is very, very difficult.
I don't have that much, honestly. It's like I have these boxes that are like this big, and they're a little clunky, and they're not incredibly heavy, but it's just like if two people carry it, it's super easy.
So, what furniture is rental and what's yours?
I don't need to bring any of them. Yeah. In fact, you want some of it?
Chantel and I broke up. So I'm responsible for designing what is going to be the hit game of the year for Microsoft, presenting it. I'm also in the process of moving into a condominium, dealing with a relationship, and I don't know what's going to happen after E3, but right now we're cooling it a little bit.
The communication issues we're having with Microsoft, I think it's just a matter of, right now, what ends up happening is people talk about things and people make decisions, and those decisions don't get communicated to everybody who needs to know.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, how's it going? Do you want to just start going through Erica's questions since she has a majority of them, and then we can just revisit the status I sent out?
Majority? It's a interrogation is what it is. Jeez.
Do you feel like it's pretty close to functioning the way you guys want it to be, or not? You know, how much,
If you think the AI sucks, say the AI sucks. I mean, don't ask me how I feel about the AI.
AI stands for artificial intelligence, and basically it's the logic that drives the enemies in the game, or the things in the game that are not controlled by the players.
The AI sucks.
Okay.
And my feeling is it feels a lot like whack-a-mole right now, where it is, I'm ducking, you're ducking, I'm ducking, you're ducking, I pop up, shoot you, you duck.
It's actually a very complicated problem in figuring out how to get all of those people, and monsters in this case, to react the way that they would or should in real life.
You ready to go? Go. You know, we're literally a couple of weeks away from final. 10 days away, just so everybody's clear.
The biggest thing right now, the decision we made today that affects gameplay, is that we need to get the chainsaw attack in. So we basically have made a priority decision that we're prioritizing the chainsaw attack over grenades and over pistol. It's what makes Gears Gears, and we need to have that moment at E3.
Peter Moore, not fine with the chainsaw.
Well, I guess Peter Moore's contention about the saw is that it's a little, you know, over the top gory.
That's exactly what the kind of branding we were going for, I thought.
We understand that. So does Peter. That's not something that we can change at this point because the ship has already sailed.
We were very concerned about the chainsaw. It gets kind of gratuitous.
By the way, this is the trademark weapon for the game. This is going to be in the demo. This is the way that Epic wants to convey this intimate violence in the game, and that's why we feel really strongly to have an assault rifle with a chainsaw bayonet. I just don't feel like the right people are championing the message.
So the chainsaw is really important to Epic because they consider it the feature weapon in their game. And so for them, they really wanted to show that and have people remember that. So Rod and Epic still want the chainsaw. So
And Tim as well.
Are you cool with that, though?
Well, I'm very cool with it.
We really do have to cut the chainsaw.
Yeah, I mean,
And I knew that was going to be a problem, but there you go.
Well, but wait till it's done, because it's silly
Right.
to try to cut it and say, this will look really good when they're done. So, I mean, we know what you want, and I know it will make some people at Microsoft nervous because they don't have it in their hands, but it's not going to suck no matter what. No?
Okay.
Microsoft, in the end of the day, they're a publisher who understands that it's about making a fun game. They understand the tension. Their job is to push, and our job is to pull, but we both respect that.
But for everyone else, starting next Monday, we're going to 10-hour days. 8 of those hours have to be between 10 and 6. So if you are an earlier morning person, you can do your 2 hours before 10, or if you're a late person, do your 2 hours after 6. So we're just basically going to be crunching company time.
Probably will definitely get fairly stressful as people get less and less sleep. I know I'm already cranky today because I didn't get any sleep last night.
And then on Saturday, it's core hours, so the 1:30 to 5. No limit on what your duration of time beyond that is, but we need you at least here on Saturday at core hours.
We have a bad show at E3, and it doesn't matter what we do in the next 4 months. No one's going to believe that the stinker of a game came out great and we got it out for holiday. If it sucks, we're dead. It's done. This is the ugly part that we all know about the game industry, where everybody hunkers down, but these are also the parts that I remember of all the games that I've worked on, and the times that we're here eating Chinese food late at night making great games. We do everything we can to make crunch a little easier on the guys. We're bringing in a masseuse, we bring lunches, and anything we can do to keep them focused on making games and reduce stress. We say it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Tim. Hey, Cliff. I want to borrow the Lamborghini. Going downtown with some friends, and I kind of told them I had a cool car. I'll bring it back intact.
All right.
I heard that you can basically get up to 80 in first.
Yeah, don't do that.
Tim, I assure you she's in good hands. Open.
Gently.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I have a question about my Lamborghini insurance policy.
Cliff is really good at his job, but he's a bit of a partier. You come to Epic and it's a giant frat party.
Here's to Scotty. Happy 25. I gotta go to work after this, dude.
Cliff has always been kind of a crazy guy. I really don't care. I mean, more power to him.
Dude, dog, yeah.
There's a bunch of bugs that I'm...
Those are the words I hate to hear.
Not quite there yet, but...
$3 hours and we still don't have a working boat.
Sleep.
I'm hoping everything's been pulled together for this final playtest. A lot of the things that were broken were relatively easy fixes, but as I've said before, game development's a house of cards. Change one thing, change everything. It's either going to go great and we're going to be able to play it, or it's going to be a total cluster.
Ow, ow, that's my...
I'm in Mark's or Mike's suit, so...
I got one shot left to draw.
I'll chainsaw you.
Guys, you gotta be able to use a shotgun when you're in close. Like, that's really annoying.
At E3, I would rather have journalists use the chainsaw too much than not enough.
It's a really cool moment in the Gears universe, grabbing that chainsaw and just ripping through someone. It's visceral, and that's what our games are about. It's something that everybody's been wanting to do for a long time, and Cliff's been fighting for it, and it's awesome. I mean, Cliff was right. It's awesome.
I mean, you've got some serious polish issues, and you guys know that, but I think it's showable, which is, I mean, it's 100% more playable than it was yesterday.
My attitude going into E3 is one of a bride who's being very mature and sane about the situation. I'm excited, I'm nervous as hell, and it's going to be awesome. Chantel and I are back together. We were apart for a couple weeks there. She caught a separate flight to the hotel that I'm staying at, and you know, when she showed up yesterday, it was like my blood pressure just went right down, back to normal.
14 years building up to this moment since I started doing this.
I know.
My name is Cliff Blazinski. The game is Gears of War. Let's check it out.
Chainsaw you too.
Delta, this is 6-1. There's something moving below ground. Over. I see it too, 6-1. What are we looking at?
Epic delivered, Epic over-delivered. They did a great job for E3, and I think that creative difference, that conflict, is the way you get a better game. I love chainsawing people.
I'm really happy with what we brought to the show. The demo that Cliff did, I think we definitely got across what we wanted to get across.
You know, I made some pretty harsh remarks about the state of the AI, and in general, I felt like Epic needed to be pushed a bit, and I think the way it's showing right now at the show, I could not be more proud of those guys at Epic. Not only is it visually amazing, but it plays well.
Hey, good job.
How are you, man?
When you do those live demos, I guess you really gotta stay with the aliens or you'll look bad.
Did you hear the sound and everything?
Oh yeah,
It's just
fantastic.
like boom. It's like the bass, and then it's crunchy, and like I labored over that assault rifle sound with the sound designer. We're like, it's gotta be pop. It's gotta pop.
I love that chainsaw.
I had to fight for that. I had to fight for it, man. But it's like it's a chocolate and a peanut butter for me, right? It's like it's a gun with a chainsaw, right? So it works out really well. So
How's it look for shipping this fall?
we'll make it happen.
Fantastic. We're counting on you.
Have a great show. It's great that everybody loved the demo, but now we have to ship the product. We got to get it done. We got to nail it. Can I get a quick photo?
Sure.
Cool, I appreciate it.